If you've been watching us for a while, you may be thinking to yourself, hey, that's not our kitchen. And you're right, that's not my kitchen anymore. This is our kitchen now. We have moved into a fifth wheel and we'll be traveling around the country, cooking and working and living and having a great time. And this is the very first video that we are shooting in our new home. And I am excited to bring to you today Italian sausage and peppers with a tomato cream sauce. Really easy recipe, great for a weeknight. You can eat it with or without pasta. I'm going with pasta today, and I'm trying the Aldi gluten-free brown rice and quinoa pasta for the very first time. I'm gonna tell you going in, I'm a little worried about it because it says that I need a gallon of water, and then I have to rinse it, and then I have to pat it dry. So I'm a little skeptical going in. So I've got the water boiling. I'm gonna get started with the Italian sausage. Got the stove, really nice 4-burner stove back there, but I really like this setup. So I have an induction burner with a cast iron skillet that I'm going to be doing my cooking on so I don't have to move. The first thing I'm going to do is I've got some wonderful Boulder Italian sausage, and what I want to do is I want to steam that. So I have this, I have this preheating a little much, so forgive the steam here. So I'm going to put these in. What I want to do is get them to cook on the outside because then we're going to slice them because I want some nice slices for the sauce and the pasta. This will take about 3 or 4 minutes, if even that. When they start turning, changing colors, you'll know they're ready. Then we're going to let them cool. We're going to slice them. And this is going to go pretty quickly as a one-pot meal if you don't count the pasta, which is kind of in a second pot. So I'm going to let these boil. I'm going to go check the pasta water, and then we're going to get right into this. The sausages have been cooking for about 3 minutes or so, boiling, I should say. So they look about ready. So I'm going to pull them out to my cutting board here. Start to let them cool. And then I'm going to dump the water out of the cast iron. So now I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil to the pan and my onions and peppers and let them simmer. I'm going to salt and pepper them here in a second. Hold on. Okay, I've got a nice semi-flat layer here. Let me get my heat turned up. I'm going to add some salt. Got a salt. And I think I'm going to add a little pepper too. I'm going to let this sit about 4 minutes undisturbed so it gets a nice good start on its cooking and hopefully get a little bit of color on there too. And during that time I'm going to come back and slice the sausage. Pasta's going into the 6+ quarts of water. Happy swimming, dudes. And I've got my spoon here because, as you know, you have to stir gluten-free pasta constantly. I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes because I'm going to check it then. It's about a 7 to 10 minute cook, and I do not want to overcook, so I'm going to check it at 5. I'm going to slice up the Italian sausage while this is cooking. Hold on, I want to make sure we're not burning. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I said to leave it undisturbed, but I guess I had to check. I'm going to slice them about, I don't know, 1/2 inch thick. If you want them smaller, sometimes you may want a smaller bite, especially if you're serving with pasta. You could cut it in half again, but I don't think that's necessary. I'm just going to do little discs. And once they're all sliced, I'm going to they're going to go back in the pan in a little bit, so I'm just going to leave them right here on the cutting board. That'll be the best place for them. It's been sitting for about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to add some more oil. Move it around. We got a nice caramelization starting on the bottom level. That's going to be a great start. We want to soften these onions and pepper, so I'm going to turn the heat up a little. Okay, these are looking good. So now I'm going to, while these are softening, I'm going to get the sausage back in the pan. They're going to need the time to cook. And I'm just going to let this sit and simmer for about 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, I am going to give this a bit of a toss in here, or a stir. The sausage is starting to cook up nicely. Now know that we're going to have adding the sauce to it, so the sausage is still going to cook as we go along. So I'm not expecting it to be fully cooked once we start putting the other ingredients in for the sauce, but kind of close. Okay, about 3 or 4 more minutes or so. I'm going to check the pasta. It's about time to take a test and make sure that it's al dente, and then we're going to come back and complete this delicious dish. Okay, it's been about 7 minutes. The package is correct, probably closer to 8, so I'm going to give it a try. Definite al dente.
Al dente?
Al dente. It's al dente's inferno. It's al dente. So I am going to turn off my heat. Which burner am I? And I am going to follow package instructions because I'm a big fan of that when it comes to gluten-free pasta. I kind of want to save some of the pasta water for my sauce, so I just dip that in there just a little bit. I'm going to put that there. So now I am going to drain and rinse, which I don't normally do with pasta. I'm a little scared. Okay, let's put that here. I'm rinsing under duress, but I'm going to follow the package instructions. Okay, I don't want to get too much cold water on it. Now, it also says you're supposed to dry the pasta so it's not wet. I just don't see that happening. But I am going to put it back in the pan, so maybe while I'm finishing the rest of this meal, it'll dry off a little bit. We'll see how it goes. This is a test. Aldi pasta. We'll see what happens. I am so excited with the color, the caramelization that I have gotten on both the sausage and the onions and peppers. They are amazing. So I'm going to make myself a small little hole here, push things to the side because I want to get the garlic in. And all I want to do is cook it till it's a bit fragrant, which is probably about a minute or so. Okay, so garlic is in. Cook up. Oh, it's fragrant already, but not as fragrant as I want. It's getting there, just a little bit. Not even a minute. You probably go 30 seconds because I'm feeling fragrant right now. Okay, I'm good with that. I am going to, green pepper down. I'm going to mix this up. Now I've turned down my heat. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more because I'm going to get the sauce components in here. The first thing is the tomato, the crushed tomatoes. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have crushed tomatoes. I had whole tomatoes, and I had a bigger can than I needed. But check the recipe. I have the correct amount on there. So I've got a little bit of pieces here, and I'm getting the sauce in. And let's see here. I'm not going to put it all in there because we have some cream and butter going in here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, we're going to leave this to the side. I reserve the right to add more tomato sauce. Okay, before I put the cream in, I'm going to give this a hit of salt because it is tomato sauce with no seasoning. And then I'm going to get the cream in here. And again, I'm going to hold back a little, see how things shake out. Okay, this is looking really good. If I can keep things in the pan. Okay, so now I'm going to get Italian seasonings in, some Worcestershire sauce, the Earth Balance, or fake butter, however you want to refer to it. I have that little bit of pasta water. It's going to add a little starch to this, help it stick to the pasta. And of course, my secret ingredient, a dash of fish sauce. So I have upped my heat a little bit because I want to bring this to a bit of a boil, and so things will start, melding together, reduce a little bit. I think I'm good with the amount of cream and tomato sauce I put in there. I'm going to taste it in a little bit. I may add a little bit of tomato sauce, but that's the wonderful thing about making your own meals. You can make it exactly as you want it. The recipe may say one thing, and you're like, no, I want more or less. So that's what we're doing. A little more, a little less. Well, I've let it cook for about 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe it was 4 minutes. I lost track. I was paying attention to the pasta. It has reduced a little bit. It's a little bit thicker. I love that. I tasted it. I'm thrilled with the flavor. I have a bowl of the Aldi pasta. So now I'm going to spoon some of this mixture over the top. I want to get lots of sauce and lots of Italian sausage. Oh, look at that. That looks great. Now this is going to taste really, really amazing because I know what's in there. But I'm going to make it taste a little more amazing because I'm going to add some basil, some fresh basil to the top. It's going to give it another layer of flavor, and I love basil. And I'm also going to get in here with a little bit of chopped parsley. It looks pretty, and that's going to add a little flavor too. How beautiful is that? So now there's only one thing left to do. Eat. Okay. Let's see, I want a piece of sausage, a piece of pasta, and definitely sauce and some basil. Okay, I think I have it. Hot. Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness, this is so good. The pasta's not bad. I am going to say, I think I'm still a Ronzoni fan, but this Aldi pasta, it hasn't fallen apart yet. It's really not too bad. I did not take the time to dry it off. I just didn't feel the need to. What I love about this dish is, one, it's easy. Two, simple ingredients. And three, it's very, very flavorful. And as someone who's dairy-free, I don't always get a lot of creaminess. But this is nice and creamy and makes me very happy. I gotta have another bite. Oh, so good. And it's not heavy either. When you hear cream, you think heavy. This is definitely not heavy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you make this. A link to the full recipe is in the description below. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We'd love to have you in the community. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And until next time, happy eating.
I wanted to show you guys our new setup. We've got an auto pull stretched across the camper. And then we've got our diffuse lights. We've got our lights that are directed down towards the countertop, and in the center there is the camera. It's wonderful that the whole setup is up off the floor and out of the way. Show you the view from the other side. There's the view from the other side. Victoria, wave. So there's our new setup. We're so excited to be cooking in the new rig.
I have so much more energy in this.
In this space?
Yeah.